Liam Fisher stood at the edge of the stage, his heart pounding as the final notes of his Gravity Symphony reverberated through the air. The audience's stunned silence was broken by a single, thunderous voice. "This is a violation of the sacred laws." Zalric's declaration sent a ripple of fear through the crowd, marking the beginning of an unprecedented cultural clash. The utopian Earth had become a haven for innovation, where humans used gravity manipulation to create floating sculptures and mesmerizing zero-gravity performances. In this world, art was not just seen, but felt in a profoundly immersive way. Liam, a pioneer in this field, was revered for his visionary creations. Today, he unveiled his latest masterpiece, a series of gravity-defying sculptures that danced gracefully in mid-air to an ethereal symphony. As the sculptures twirled and shimmered, the audience watched in awe, their expressions a mixture of wonder and disbelief. Liam's art had always been a bridge, connecting people through shared experiences of beauty. But today, the connection was threatened. Zalric, leader of a conservative alien sect, stepped forward, his eyes blazing with fervor. "Humans have overstepped their bounds," he proclaimed. "Gravity is sacred, a natural law that must not be tampered with." Liam's heart sank as murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. He had anticipated resistance, but not such vehement opposition. As Zalric's followers joined the chorus of disapproval, Liam scanned the faces of the audience, searching for support. His eyes met those of a tall, slender alien with a thoughtful expression, Elion. Elion approached Liam after the exhibition, his demeanor calm and respectful. "Your work is extraordinary," he said, his voice resonating with sincerity. "I believe it holds the potential to unite our cultures." Liam studied Elion, sensing a kindred spirit. "Thank you," he replied, his voice tinged with relief. "But it seems not everyone shares your appreciation." Elion nodded. "There are always those who fear what they do not understand. Perhaps a collaboration between us could show the true potential of gravity art." Intrigued, Liam agreed. They decided to create a masterpiece that would merge human and alien artistic techniques, hoping it would demonstrate the harmony achievable through shared creativity. As they began their work, they faced not only the technical challenges of merging their disparate styles, but also the rising tide of opposition led by Zalric. In the weeks that followed, Zalric's campaign against gravity art intensified. He rallied support from conservative factions on Earth and within his own community, spreading fear and misinformation. "This manipulation of gravity is an affront to the natural order," he declared at every opportunity. "It must be stopped before it brings chaos upon us all." Despite the mounting pressure, Liam and Elion pressed on, their determination fueled by a shared vision. They spent long hours in Liam's studio, experimenting with new techniques and refining their creation. Their collaboration blossomed into a deep friendship built on mutual respect and a shared belief in the power of art. One evening, as they worked on a particularly complex aspect of their project, a sudden crash echoed through the studio. They turned to see a section of their sculpture shattered on the floor. "Sabotage," Elion muttered, examining the damage. Liam clenched his fists. "Zalric's followers must have done this," he said. "We need to be more vigilant." They redoubled their efforts, implementing security measures and working tirelessly to repair the damage. Their project became a symbol of resilience, a testament to their unwavering belief in the transformative power of art. As the day of the grand performance approached, tensions reached a peak. Zalric's sect planned a final sabotage attempt to ensure the event's failure. Liam and Elion, aware of the threat, prepared a countermeasure. They knew the stakes were high. Their work had to succeed, not just for themselves, but for the message it would send. The night of the performance arrived. The venue was packed with spectators from various cultures, all eager to witness the Gravity Symphony. Liam and Elion took the stage, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The lights dimmed, and the symphony began, the sculptures rising gracefully into the air. As the performance reached its crescendo, Zalric's followers made their move, triggering their sabotage. The sculptures wavered, the symphony faltered. Gasps filled the audience. But Liam and Elion were ready. With a flick of his wrist, Liam activated their countermeasure, stabilizing the gravity fields and restoring the harmony of the performance. The audience erupted in applause, the threat averted. Liam and Elion exchanged a triumphant glance, knowing they had achieved something remarkable. Their masterpiece had not only survived, but had also transcended the barriers of fear and misunderstanding. In the aftermath of the performance, Zalric stood at the edge of the crowd, his stern expression softened by a flicker of doubt. As he watched the diverse audience celebrate together, he began to question his rigid beliefs. Perhaps, he thought, there was more to gravity art than he had ever imagined. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the studio's large windows, casting a warm glow over the floating sculptures suspended mid-air. Liam Fisher, sleep-deprived but invigorated, meticulously adjusted the gravity fields around a new piece. Each sculpture, a delicate balance of form and motion, floated effortlessly, defying conventional limitations. As he worked, Elion arrived, his slender form casting a long shadow across the room. The alien's vibrant blue skin contrasted sharply with the earthy tones of Liam's studio. Elion's eyes, shimmering with curiosity and determination, met Liam's. "Morning, Liam," Elion greeted, his voice a melodic blend of alien and human tones. "I see you've been busy." Liam looked up, a tired smile on his face. "Couldn't sleep. Too many ideas buzzing around. What do you think of this one?" Elion studied the sculpture, his keen eyes taking in every detail. "It's beautiful, but there's potential for more. What if we integrated some of my species' light technology? It could add a new dimension to your work." Intrigued, Liam nodded. "Let's give it a try." They spent the next few hours merging their techniques, experimenting with light and gravity. Elion demonstrated how his people used light to convey emotions and stories, while Liam explained the intricacies of manipulating gravitational fields to create fluid motion. Their collaboration was seamless, each idea building upon the last. As they worked, their conversation flowed naturally, revealing more about their backgrounds. Liam shared his journey from a struggling artist to a renowned sculptor, driven by a desire to bring people together through art. Elion spoke of his own struggles against conservative traditions in his society, and his belief that art could bridge even the widest cultural divides. Meanwhile, news of their collaboration spread quickly, fueled by both excitement and apprehension. Zalric's conservative faction intensified their efforts, spreading fear and misinformation about the dangers of gravity manipulation. Public opinion was divided, with some embracing the new artistic possibilities and others fearing the consequences of such radical innovation. Despite the growing tension, Liam and Elion continued to push forward. They were determined to create something unprecedented, something that would demonstrate the potential for unity and understanding. One afternoon, while fine-tuning a particularly complex piece, the studio's door burst open. A young woman, one of Liam's assistants, rushed in, her face pale. "Liam, Elion, you need to see this," she said, holding out a tablet. On the screen was a news broadcast, showing footage of a recent protest led by Zalric's followers. The protesters were chanting against gravity art, their faces twisted in anger and fear. Liam sighed. "This is getting worse." Elion placed a comforting hand on Liam's shoulder. "We can't let them deter us. Our work will speak for itself." Determined, they returned to their project. Yet, as the days passed, minor sabotage attempts plagued their studio. Equipment was tampered with, and strange power fluctuations disrupted their work. It became clear that someone was trying to halt their progress. Undeterred, Liam and Elion increased security and doubled their efforts. Their bond grew stronger as they faced these challenges together. They shared late-night conversations about their hopes and fears, finding solace in each other's company. One night, as they reviewed their progress, Elion's expression turned serious. "Liam, we need to address this sabotage. It's not just random acts. Someone is targeting us." Liam nodded. "I agree. But who? And why?" Their answer came sooner than expected. The next morning, they discovered a small, sophisticated device hidden among their equipment. It was a piece of alien technology, one that only a few could access. Realizing the significance, Elion's face hardened. "This isn't just sabotage. It's a direct attack, and I have a strong suspicion who might be behind it," Elion said, his voice steady but laced with anger. "Zalric," Liam guessed. Elion nodded. "Yes, we need to confront him." That evening, they arranged a meeting with Zalric. The atmosphere was tense as they entered the alien leader's quarters. Zalric, surrounded by his loyal followers, regarded them with cold disdain. "Liam Fisher," Elion, Zalric acknowledged, his tone icy. "To what do I owe this visit?" Liam stepped forward. "We know about the sabotage. This ends now." Zalric's expression remained unmoved. "Sabotage? I have no idea what you're talking about." Elion interjected, his voice firm. "We found a device. Your device. This isn't just about art anymore. It's about trust and integrity." For a moment, silence hung heavy in the air. Then, unexpectedly, Zalric's stern facade cracked. "You're right," he admitted. "I authorized the sabotage. But you must understand, this technology is dangerous. It disrupts the natural order." Liam shook his head. "It's not about danger. It's about fear. Fear of change, of the unknown. But change can be beautiful. Look at what we've created." Zalric's gaze wavered, a flicker of doubt crossing his features. Before he could respond, a younger member of his sect stepped forward. "Zalric, perhaps it's time to reconsider. We've seen their work. It has potential to unite, not divide." Zalric stared at the young alien, then at Liam and Elion. "Very well," he said finally. "You will have one chance, one performance to prove your point. But if it fails, gravity art will be banned." Liam Fisher paced his studio, the remnants of the nearly destroyed gravity sculpture scattered around him. The attack had shaken him, but his resolve remained unbroken. He looked at Elion, whose usually serene expression was now clouded with worry. "We need to find out who's behind this," Liam said, his voice tinged with frustration. Elion nodded, his alien features displaying a mix of determination and concern. "I agree. This wasn't just vandalism, it was a calculated move to disrupt our work." Together, they began examining the wreckage, looking for any clues the saboteur might have left behind. It wasn't long before they discovered a small metallic device hidden among the debris. Elion's eyes widened as he inspected it. "This is advanced technology," he said. "It's not human-made." Liam frowned. "So Zalric is behind this after all. We need to confront him and get answers." They arranged a meeting with Zalric, who agreed to see them in a neutral location, a secluded park at the edge of the city. The atmosphere was tense as they approached, the park's usually serene ambience marred by the weight of their confrontation. Zalric stood waiting, his imposing figure casting a long shadow. He looked at them with disdain, his voice cold as he spoke. "What do you want?" Liam stepped forward, holding up the metallic device. "We found this at the site of the sabotage. It's not human technology." "We know you're involved, Zalric." Zalric's eyes narrowed. "You dare accuse me without proof?" Elion interjected, his tone calm but firm. "This device is proof enough. We only seek the truth. Why are you so determined to destroy our work?" Zalric's expression hardened. "Gravity is sacred. Your manipulation of it is an affront to the natural order. I cannot allow it to continue." Liam's anger flared. "You're willing to destroy everything we've built because of your narrow beliefs. This art, has the potential to unite our worlds. Before Zalric could respond, a voice emerged from the shadows. Not all of us agree with Zalric's methods. A figure stepped forward, Astra, a member of Zalric's sect. She looked at them with a mixture of defiance and resolve. I believe in what you're doing. I've seen the beauty and the potential for unity in your work. Zalric glared at her, his voice a low growl. Astra, you betray us. Astra shook her head. No, I'm choosing a different path. This endless cycle of fear and destruction must end. Elion placed a reassuring hand on Liam's shoulder. We need to know everything you can tell us, Astra. How can we stop Zalric's plans? Astra glanced nervously at Zalric before continuing. He has a final sabotage plan during your grand performance. It will be catastrophic if not stopped. Liam's heart sank. What exactly is he planning? Astra hesitated, then spoke quickly. He has hidden disruptor devices that will destabilize the gravity fields you've created. If they activate during the performance, it could bring everything crashing down. Zalric's face twisted with rage. You will regret this betrayal, Astra. Liam ignored Zalric's threat, focusing on the immediate danger. We need to find and disable those devices. Astra, can you help us? Astra nodded. I'll do what I can. We don't have much time. With Astra's help, they returned to the studio and began a meticulous search for the disruptor devices. As they worked, Liam couldn't help but feel a growing sense of urgency. The grand performance was their last chance to prove the value of their art and the possibility of unity between their species. Hours passed, each minute feeling like an eternity. Finally, Astra pointed to a section of the studio's ceiling. There, one of the devices is hidden in the support beams. Elion carefully dismantled the panel, revealing a small but powerful disruptor. We need to neutralize these before the performance starts. Liam nodded, determination fueling his every move. Let's get to work. They spent the next several hours methodically searching and disabling each disruptor Astra identified. The tension was palpable, but their combined efforts slowly paid off. As dawn approached, they had successfully neutralized the last of the devices. Liam looked at Elion and Astra, gratitude and exhaustion in his eyes. We did it. Now we just have to make sure the performance goes off without a hitch. Astra smiled faintly. I'll keep watch during the performance. If anything happens, I'll be ready to act. Elion nodded in agreement. We need to stay vigilant. This is our moment to show what's possible. As they prepared for the grand performance, Liam felt a renewed sense of hope. Despite the challenges and the opposition they faced, they had forged an alliance that transcended their differences. The Gravity Symphony would be their testament to the power of art and collaboration. Standing on the stage once more, Liam took a deep breath. The audience awaited in anticipation, unaware of the drama that had unfolded behind the scenes. As the first notes of the Gravity Symphony filled the air, he knew this performance would be a turning point. The beauty of their creation began to unfold, each element meticulously crafted to showcase the harmony between human and alien artistry. The audience watched in awe, captivated by the ethereal display. Just as the performance reached its climax, a faint beep echoed through the studio. Liam's heart skipped a beat. Astra, standing vigilantly at the back, quickly located the source of final, hidden disruptor Zalric had planted. Without hesitation, she deactivated it, ensuring the symphony continued uninterrupted. The crisis averted, Liam and Elion finished their masterpiece, the last notes resonating with a profound sense of triumph. As the final echoes faded, the audience erupted in applause, their unified reaction a powerful statement of support and admiration. Liam looked at Elion and Astra, a sense of accomplishment and hope filling him. Zalric, watching from the shadows, could no longer deny the impact of what he had witnessed. His rigid beliefs began to waver, and for the first time, he saw the potential for change. The air was electric with anticipation as the grand performance drew near. The vast amphitheater, built specifically for this unprecedented event, was a marvel in itself, with gravity-defying platforms and floating seating arrangements that offered a perfect view from every angle. Liam Fisher stood at the center of the stage, taking a deep breath, absorbing the buzz of the excited crowd. Beside him, Elion adjusted his instrument, a complex alien device that manipulated gravity waves with precise elegance. "We're ready," Elion said, his voice a calm anchor amidst the sea of nerves. Liam nodded, casting a glance at the security personnel discreetly positioned around the venue. They had left no stone unturned in ensuring the safety of their performance, but the threat of sabotage still lingered in the back of his mind. As the lights dimmed, a hush fell over the audience. The opening notes of the Gravity Symphony began to play, each sound wave intricately woven with gravitational adjustments that caused the very air to shimmer and dance. Liam moved his hands gracefully, guiding the floating sculptures into position. Each piece was a testament to human ingenuity and alien artistry, merging seamlessly into a spectacle of light and motion. In the VIP section, Zalric watched with a stern expression, his eyes flickering with a mix of fascination and disapproval. His followers were scattered throughout the audience, poised to execute their final act of sabotage. Unbeknownst to them, Liam and Elion had devised a countermeasure, a hidden mechanism that could stabilize the gravitational fields if tampered with. The first act of the performance concluded to thunderous applause. Liam and Elion exchanged a quick, determined glance before transitioning into the second act, where the sculptures would perform a complex ballet, floating and spinning in perfect harmony. "Look at them," Elion whispered, his eyes shining with pride. "They're mesmerized." "Let's hope it stays that way," Liam replied, his voice tinged with underlying tension. As the second act unfolded, a low hum started to build, barely noticeable at first, but steadily growing. Liam's heart skipped a beat. He knew this sound. It was the telltale sign of an approaching disruption in the gravity fields. He glanced at Elion, who nodded imperceptibly. It was time to activate their countermeasure. With a subtle gesture, Liam triggered the hidden device embedded in the stage floor. A pulse of stabilizing energy rippled through the performance space, counteracting the interference just as it began to escalate. The sculptures wavered for a moment, but quickly regained their rhythm, continuing their elegant dance. In the audience, Zalric's eyes widened in surprise. He turned to one of his followers, a burly alien named Tharn. "They've done something. We need to escalate our efforts." Tharn nodded and discreetly slipped away, heading towards a control panel hidden in the amphitheater's structure. Meanwhile, the performance continued, each segment more breathtaking than the last. The third act began with a solo piece by Elion, his instrument sending delicate tendrils of gravity waves that caused the sculptures to intertwine in a display of unity and cooperation. The audience was enraptured, the beauty of the performance overshadowing their concerns about cultural and natural laws. But behind the scenes, Tharn was hard at work, his fingers deftly manipulating controls to induce a more severe disruption. He found the main control conduit and began tampering with the settings, causing a noticeable shift in the gravitational balance. Liam felt it instantly. The sculptures jolted, their smooth movements becoming erratic. The audience gasped, and panic started to spread. Liam took a deep breath and focused, activating the secondary countermeasure. This one required manual adjustment, a risky move but necessary to maintain the stability of the performance. Elion, sensing the disruption, adjusted his instrument to compensate. The two worked in tandem, their actions synchronized as if they had rehearsed this 1,000 times. The sculptures slowly steadied, their movements regaining fluidity. In the audience, Zalric watched in awe. Despite his deep-seated beliefs, he couldn't deny the skill and dedication on display. He leaned forward, captivated by the artist's resilience and creativity. Tharn, realizing his efforts were being thwarted, decided to take a more direct approach. He initiated a full-scale disruption, causing the gravity fields to fluctuate wildly. The amphitheater began to shake, and the sculpture started to descend uncontrollably. Liam shouted to Elion, "Now activate the emergency protocol." Elion nodded and struck a resonant chord on his instrument, sending a powerful wave through the gravity fields. The sculptures halted their descent and began to rise again, this time glowing with an ethereal light. The audience, initially frightened, watched in awe as the sculptures transformed into a symbol of defiance and harmony. Zalric stood up, his face a mask of conflicted emotions. As he looked around, he saw the impact of the performance on his followers. Many were no longer rigid in their disapproval. Instead, they seemed moved, even inspired. The final act reached its crescendo. The sculptures formed a massive, rotating sphere, symbolizing unity and collaboration. The audience erupted into applause, their fears forgotten in the face of such overwhelming beauty. Liam and Elion took their bows, their hearts pounding with relief and triumph. As they exited the stage, Zalric approached them. There was a moment of tense silence before he spoke. "You've shown us something remarkable tonight," he said quietly. "Perhaps there is more to this art than I realized." Liam extended his hand. "There's always more to learn. Maybe we can explore it together." Liam Fisher stood at the edge of the stage, his heart pounding. The grand performance had reached its climax, the gravity symphony swirling in perfect harmony. The audience, a mix of humans and aliens, watched in awe as the floating sculptures danced and zero-gravity performers defied the laws of physics. Suddenly, a tremor ran through the stage. Zalric's followers had made their move. A shadow darted across the stage. Liam's eyes widened as he spotted a figure tampering with the gravity fields. He glanced at Elion, who nodded. They had anticipated this final sabotage attempt. Elion subtly adjusted a control panel, activating their countermeasure. The stage shimmered, and the gravity fields stabilized. The saboteur, realizing his efforts were thwarted, retreated into the crowd. The performance continued seamlessly, the audience oblivious to the near disaster. The final notes of the symphony echoed through the hall, resonating with a harmony that transcended species and cultures. As the last sculpture floated gently to the ground, the audience erupted in applause. Liam felt a surge of relief and pride. They had done it. He turned to Elion, whose eyes sparkled with triumph. "That was close," Elion whispered, a wry smile playing on his lips. "Too close," Liam replied, wiping sweat from his brow. "But we did it." Zalric, who had watched the entire performance from the back of the hall, stepped forward. His expression was unreadable, his usual stern demeanor softened. He approached the stage, his followers hesitating behind him. Liam took a deep breath and stepped down to meet Zalric. The alien leader's imposing presence was intimidating, but Liam held his ground. "You defied my warnings," Zalric said, his voice low but carrying through the now silent hall. "Yet, you created something extraordinary." Liam nodded. "We wanted to show that gravity manipulation can bring beauty and unity, not chaos." Zalric's eyes flickered with an emotion Liam couldn't quite identify. "I saw the harmony you spoke of. It was enlightening." Before Zalric could continue, a young alien stepped forward from his ranks. "Leader Zalric, perhaps we were too hasty in our judgment. This performance, it was a bridge between our worlds." The alien's words rippled through the crowd, stirring murmurs of agreement. Zalric glanced back at his followers, seeing their changed expressions. The rigid lines of his face softened. "Perhaps," Zalric said slowly, "we must reconsider our stance." Elion joined Liam, standing beside him. "Art has the power to unite, to transcend differences. We've seen it tonight." Zalric sighed, a sound that seemed to carry the weight of his centuries-old beliefs. "I was wrong to dismiss this so quickly. Your art has shown me another perspective. A wave of relief washed over Liam. He extended his hand. "Let's work together for a better future." Zalric hesitated, then clasped Liam's hand firmly. "For a better future." The audience burst into applause once more, the sound filled with hope and renewed purpose. The moment marked the beginning of a new era, one where humans and aliens could collaborate and learn from each other. After the performance, the atmosphere was electric with excitement. Liam and Elion were surrounded by well-wishers and admirers from both species. Among them was the ally from Zalric's sect, who had helped them thwart the sabotage. "You did well," the ally said, his voice low to avoid drawing attention. "Zalric will now support your art, and many others will follow." Liam smiled gratefully. "We couldn't have done it without you." The ally nodded and slipped back into the crowd, his mission complete. As the night drew to a close, Liam and Elion found a quiet corner to reflect. The gravity sculptures still floated above them, illuminated by soft lights. "What's next for us?" Elion asked, a glint of excitement in his eyes. Liam looked at the sculptures, each representing a step towards unity. "We keep creating, keep pushing boundaries. There's so much more we can do together." Elion nodded. "I have ideas for integrating our art forms even more. Imagine what we could achieve." The possibilities were endless, and Liam felt a renewed sense of purpose. "Let's start planning. We have a lot of work ahead." As they talked, the future seemed bright and filled with potential. The performance had not only saved their project, but also opened doors to new opportunities and collaborations. The alliance they had formed with Zalric and his followers was just the beginning. The next day, news of the performance and its impact spread across the globe and beyond. Messages of support and interest in gravity art poured in from various alien cultures. Liam and Elion's collaboration had sparked a movement, inspiring others to explore the intersection of art and science. Liam stood in his studio, looking at the sketches for their next project. He felt a hand on his shoulder and turned to see Elion. "Ready to make history again?" Elion asked with a smile.